We're still in the book of Romans, and we're looking at some of my favorite passages of Scripture, and we want to be sure that we focus in on the most important ones. And so I'm going to take chapter 12, break it down into a couple of parts. First part is verses 9 and following. It says, "Let love be without hypocrisy. Abhor what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in brotherly love. Give preference to one another in honor, not lagging behind in diligence, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, persevering in tribulation, devoted to prayer, contributing to the needs of the saints, practicing hospitality." Now, when we take a look at that, remember that Romans is broken into two parts. First part is doctrinal, chapters 1 through 11. The second part is behavioral, which is chapters 12 through 16. This certainly deals with behavior. Loving without hypocrisy, diligence, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, persevering in tribulation, devoted to prayer, contributing to the needs of saints, and practicing hospitality. These are all behaviors, and these are the things that we're supposed to be doing as Christians. The second part that I want to share with you is verses 14 and following. "Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. Be of the same mind toward one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly, and do not be wise in your own estimation. Never pay back evil for evil to anyone. Respect what is right in the sight of all men. If possible, so far as it depends on you, be at peace with all men." Now that last verse is perhaps the most pungent of all of the verses that we've looked at. First of all, it starts out with a conditional statement, if it's possible. And it defines that for you quite clearly. It says, so far as it depends on you, be at peace with all men. Our president is now in Vietnam, and there he's meeting with the head of North Korea. And he would like to have peace. But remember, it says, if it's possible, so far as it depends on you. Our president cannot make North Korea do anything, because it doesn't depend on him. It depends on the leaders in North Korea. And we'd like to be at peace with all men around the world. But a lot depends on them, doesn't it? A lot depends on what others want. And some of that is because of insecurity. Certainly North Korea is concerned about America coming in and pushing from the south and making South Korea go into North Korea. And the United States is worried about North Korea pushing south and going into South Korea. Even North and South Korea don't trust one another. And it makes it very difficult when it depends on you, but it also depends on others. So, when you apply this to the local church and to your own life, if possible, as far as it depends on you, be at peace with all men. And that's a very difficult thing. So when we look at all of the scripture that preceded it, diligence, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, persevering in tribulation, devoted to prayer, those things are the things that make it possible for the other side to begin to trust us, and to rejoice with those that rejoice and weep with those that weep. I hope you'll think about those words. And I hope that you'll realize that what depends upon us is that we show ourselves to be trustworthy. We show ourselves to be honorable, righteous. If we do, it still depends on the other person whether or not we can be at peace with them, whether they truly trust and believe in us, and if that's really what they want is peace. My fear is that several of these leaders of foreign nations really don't want peace. Those that come right out and say they'd like to annihilate the Jews, those that come right out and say they'd like to annihilate anybody that's not an Islamic and it doesn't follow Allah. It's pretty hard to make peace with people like that, because they've got to want peace also. And many times the very structure of what they believe and what they want is contrary to what brings about peace. And that's my thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.